If you thought that Liza Minnelli and David Guest had the most unhinged celebrity wedding of all time, just wait until I tell you about Elizabeth Taylor's wedding at Michael Jackson's Neverland Ranch. For her 8th time down the aisle, Elizabeth Taylor decided to marry a construction worker, and Michael Jackson gave her away. There is a lot to unpack here, so let's dive right in. In 1988, Liz Taylor met Larry Fortensky when they were both patients at the Betty Ford Clinic. Liz had checked herself into the Betty Ford Clinic to get help for her painkiller addiction, and while she was there, she fell in love with Larry, and by October 6, 1991, they were getting married. Please welcome to what is considered the most media-crazy celebrity wedding of all time. By the way, this wedding was going to be televised by NBC, but it ended up falling through at the last minute because they couldn't agree on a price to pay Elizabeth or the production value of the wedding. And let me tell you, I wish this was televised because this might be the craziest celebrity wedding ever. For starters, the guest list was as iconic as it could get for the era. Over 200 people were invited, and on the guest list included Nancy Reagan, Brooke Shields, Macaulay Culkin, and even Valentino. Speaking of Valentino made her a $25,000 yellow wedding dress that was custom made for the day. And the guests had a dress code of black tie, although the women could not wear black or yellow because they could not conflict with what Elizabeth was wearing. Michael Jackson walked her down the aisle with her oldest son, Michael Wilding Jr., and they were then married by presidential candidate Marianne Williamson. And like I said, the media coverage around this wedding was absolutely insane. There were said to be over a dozen helicopters circling the venue, and guests could not even hear the vows going down. And the fans were lined up all over where Neverland was. They had to hire over 100 security guards just to make sure that no one would break into this wedding. And that still was not enough to keep people out. At one point, a paparazzi literally parachuted from the sky and landed about 20 feet away from the bride and groom right as they were greeting each other at the ceremony. The wedding ended up costing about $2 million, and a lot of it was covered by her best friend, Michael Jackson. And unfortunately for Elizabeth Taylor, her 8th and final marriage ended up not working out. Just 5 years later, they ended up divorcing, reaching a settlement of $1.6 million. And if you thought that was iconic, just wait until I tell you all about Elizabeth Taylor's 60th birthday at Disneyland.